Hi, my name is Frank Schaeffer, and I grew up in an evangelical household with two parents, Francis and Edith Schaeffer, who in the 1970s and 80s became famous evangelical leaders that the New York Times once referred to as evangelical royalty. And I left that background, but I keep a sharp eye on it. Well, you know, my mom used to say that you could never tell who was lost or saved, that only God knew this. But I'll tell you one thing for sure, you can tell. It's not atheists and Jews and Hindus and Muslims in America, or liberals or Democrats or feminists or lesbians or non-binary people who can be looked at in a judgmental way and told for sure you don't follow Jesus. The only people in America today that my mother would have said are definitely lost in terms of their behavior, their politics, and what they do are white evangelical Trump voters and supporters, his bedrock base. I say that because Mom, a good evangelical woman who wrote books like What is a Family and all these other evangelical classics, used to say that you could judge someone by their behavior. You wouldn't know what, as she would put it, was in their heart, but you could certainly see by what they did whether they were followers of Jesus. People who go along with locking babies in cages, an entire politics of lies fomented by Rupert Murdoch and his media empire, Fox News and the rest, folks who go along with hating immigrants and migrants and brown people and closing the border to them, even though they are their brothers and sisters in Christ and are conservative Roman Catholics and or Pentecostal Christians coming from Central America and South America. One can judge their actions. They are following a liar, a man of lies, a man of blood, a man who turned his back on Syriac Christians and Kurdish fighters who are allies of the United States, who had lost 10,000 fighters standing with us shoulder to shoulder with people like my Marine son, who I'm very proud of, who served in Afghanistan twice and once in Iraq, defending us against Islamist terror. Trump got into bed with Erdogan of Turkey, who is an Islamist terrorist himself, quite literally, supporting terror groups that are going into northern Syria now, murdering, slaughtering, raping, pillaging, and committing ethnic cleansing and genocide against Kurds and Christians. This leader, Trump, who is more comfortable with Vladimir Putin than he is with the democratically elected leaders of Europe and our old allies, this man Trump, who is on his third marriage, multiple affairs, philanderer who has groped women and been credibly accused of rape, is the person that evangelical white Christians follow now to their moral deaths. My mother always said you could never judge who was saved or lost, but we can judge today, right now, that liberal left-leaning feminist Democrats, liberal left-leaning woke students, atheists, agnostics in America, judging by their politics, their actions, and how they treat other people, are perhaps the only followers of Jesus in this country, because Christians, if you're talking about conservative Roman Catholic Trump voters and white evangelical voters, certainly are not. They are the party that has fomented the bombing of synagogues. They are the people who have fomented sending pipe bombs to democratically elected officials. They are the people who support this man of blood and hatred, whose policies are antithetical to every single thing Jesus said in the Sermon on the Mount. So they say they believe in Jesus, but by their actions we know them. And they are of, as my mother would have said, Satan. Thank you. My name is Frank Schaeffer.